everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I have a fun little craft project to show you today. I am kind of all about making stuff with the things I have. I love to buy new products and try things, but I also really enjoy just using up the stash of numerous craft supplies I have. So today I had the thought of making a charm for my new Cherry Sky Traveler's Notebook from Chic Sparrow. This is the Waypoint leather. You may have been hearing about it. It's recently been released. It's a really nice, soft, supple leather, and I chose this because I thought it would be really fun to have a holiday traveler's notebook all about recording memories and doing the planning, the shopping list, the gift lists, and all that kind of stuff in one place for the holidays. So what I did was to embellish this notebook was just make this little charm today. It was super easy. I am not a jewelry crafter at all, but I do have these basic tools because I had a friend once who was really into that, and she showed me just a little bit about it. This charm has I think it's called a lobster claw clip on it. So that makes it really easy to move it to one spot or another. So here you could hang a charm like that. Of course, you can move that anywhere on your planner if you have this cross belly band string. Or you could clip it to really anywhere that there's some kind of place to attach it, but I like having them dangling from here. Personally, that's the least cumbersome way to me. On my old traveler's notebook, I had a charm, and I also had one here, and I liked all those embellishments, and then after a while it felt like too much stuff to me, which is kind of how I am. I do stuff and then it starts to feel like too much and I undo it. But for the holidays, I thought this little festive touch would be really fun. So, not to get too bogged down with the actual jewelry crafting aspect, I just want to show you an easy way to put together something like this. Before I get into that though, here is another super easy thing you can do if you just want to add a little pizzazz to your holiday journal. Get a bulb clip. I have these in black and silver and gold and like an antique brass, and you can just string on a jingle bell, or maybe not even called string on, just put on a jingle bell. And here's little mini jingle bells. I ordered these on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure they're available at craft stores. If you wanted to add a little bit more color to that, and you have these kind of beads on hand, sometimes what I like to do on the front of my journals, just to add a little detail of interest on the front elastic closure that I do in my junk journals, I'll just do something like this. I hope that is visible. So I just put this little tiny seed bead kind of thing on there. Let me see if I can find a green one. Of course, I could have had that out ahead of time, but I didn't, so we'll get it now. Now you could play around with how you like these arranged, of course, and you can mess around with the order of the color and so forth, but basically it just makes a super, oh, there we go, helps if you can see it, just a little embellishment for your front TN elastic. So I can put that there, or I could clip it back to this band up here, which is holding the insert strings or elastics. Okay, that of course is super simple to do that method. Those bulb clips are probably at craft stores. I just ordered a whole bunch of them online, but they're super cheap and you get a whole bunch. If you have that on hand, use it. You could use a safety pin too and put on one of these little mini jingle bells. Those are so cute. I think they just add a fun little whimsical touch, or a bigger one. And I have several of those too from a package I bought a while back for Christmas journals. So let's get on to making the lobster claw. What is this? Just the lobster claw thing for the dangling charm. I want to say there's another name for that, but anyway, this is actually a plastic. I don't think it's metal at all. It feels super lightweight. And I actually prefer maybe metal and glass or real stone. These are all plasticky, but it's what I had on hand, so I'm using it. These necklaces, I got them all at like a resale shop that's close by. My sons are in an art class, and they were told to collect beads and baubles, and I don't even know what exactly that's supposed to be, but you know, buttons, just things that they're going to disassemble and make like a three-dimensional or like a relief type art form for the holidays. So I have all this stuff on hand, and today I saw this and I really liked the color of these plastic. This one may be stone or glass or something, but most of them are plastic, but I thought they were pretty, and that gave me the idea, hey, I'm gonna make a little charm for my tin for the holidays. Normally I probably would get tired of that being on there, but again, for the holidays I thought it'd be a festive touch, and I would enjoy it for that amount of time. So that was my inspiration, but I did take the lobster claw clip that I'm using on this charm off of this. So if you have a Goodwill or a resale shop or anything like that in your area, go take a look. Ours has a dollar section, so I think these were in the dollar section, or I bought some of them with credit that I had from some other things we had already sold. So I've looked at this already a few minutes ago. This one here has probably what it's happening is it's just fading because it's a cheap metal, so it's getting this more brassy look to it. But I kind of like that, I think, for showing you. This one has it on there too. It's trying to think, maybe a little bit smaller, and that's more of a silver tone. So I'm going to set this one aside. It's going back in the bin for their art project. And I'm going to take this kind of pliers, which is rounded. These two little things are like a cone. Like I said, I don't know jewelry tools well, but I know enough to know that that's what I need, and they won't leave a dent because of the roundedness. There is a little ring right here. I believe it's called a jump ring, or maybe a jump ring is when it's coiled and then you can kind of twist something onto it, but just for this sake I'm going to call it a jump ring. And what I'm going to do is insert these two prongs into this jump ring and open it up just enough to remove this whole thing from the main part of this necklace. So you can just put that in there. And we're going to gently, maybe I'll try to zoom in, pull that apart if I can. That's not wanting to cooperate. So let me take a look at that and see. They may have done that one. It looks like it's maybe soldered together. I'll try again. If not, I'll just cut it off with the string part. Yep. Okay, that came off, but it broke the jump ring. But I still have the claw, and that's really the main part that I need because I have more of those rings. I'm going to grab one of those. Just a second, I'll pause this a moment. Okay, I'm back. So I found one of these in the stash of bead supplies. Just another opened up jump ring after this little mishap here. I mean, that one totally like expanded and split. So I think that was kind of like, see ya, soldered together. I just said goodbye to my husband and sons. They're going to go target shooting. So excuse me for that. So what I want to do right now is just keep this open. I'm going to loop that through and just keep it handy because I'm not sure what I want to attach to it yet. Once I do, I can decide if I need to close that up or not. This I don't want. I actually picked this out because it looked like it could be turned into something with robots. So I thought my boys might like that for their craft project. So going back to this necklace, I'd like to do another one for the holidays, or something that could work for other holidays that use the more patriotic colors, or the reds, whites, and blues. But I was thinking red. Here again, let's split that. That one came apart much more easily. So anyway, we do things and make mistakes and add to the comic relief of our videos. Trying to get that piece off because that might actually be handy. There we go. So that is removed, and this I think could be a fun charm for the front of a journal or on the elastics that I just showed you. Now I can make the choice of which one of these to use. Both of them are about the same, and sometimes you'll have the loop and you open it up, and then you can close it up easily when you squeeze it. But sometimes what happens, for me anyway, when I open it, it gets twisted, so that when I redo it, they don't align. So I want to be careful for that, because I want to make sure that once I have it attached to this, it's going to stay in one place. So I will just use that one. Then I'm going to just pinch the ring between these two fingers to hold it. Some people might use this tool that has the rougher edge. Again, pardon my ignorance, I don't know what to call them. This may be better for squeezing it shut, because sometimes the round ones, it'll slip, but that is super helpful when you are just trying to open it up. Now I'm going to slowly pinch that ring back together. There's a slight, tiny hair width opening. I'm going to squeeze it just with a little pulsating motion. There we go. Just so I don't do it too tight and it goes everywhere like it just did a minute ago. So here is a really basic charm. I have somewhere a really cute one. Oh, here. There's this little Christmas light charm, bead I mean, that might be cute on the charm. So I can get another ring. I can open this one back up and put that on there. I'm not really sure I like that together, but it would be cute with grouped together with some other beads, or put on this here. Let's play around with this a minute. Let's open this up. Another thing you could add to this without having to mess too much with the opening and closing of the rings, if you're like me, you're not the best at that. I'm going to just put that on there, and so that gives a little other dimension, a little more texture to this bead. It gives it a little more visual interest. I probably wouldn't keep that on there though, but that's an idea. I will probably just leave it as is. I think I like this more plain, this big piece. We'll remove that real quick. I'll save that for later. I'm getting ready to do December daily stuff. I'm going to group together my supplies in another video, so that when I do my December dailies, I will have all these little embellishments. So something like this is a really fun embellishment if you're tying your journal with a ribbon, or you want to even pin it onto a stiffer cardstock type page. So this is all I have for now, and it's fine. I have this little thing I could add, but I think this would look good. Just the simplicity of that I'm drawn to. Sometimes I don't like it to be overly cluttered, but I like adding some visual interest, and I think that's kind of fun. Of course, these are two different shades of red. It may or may not appeal to you, but that gives you the basic idea of a very easy charm you can do. I'm guessing that if you have these tools at home, I'll just leave it on there for now. If you these aren't too expensive if you buy just an inexpensive kit at the craft store. I don't even remember. I got these probably 6 or 7 years ago. I didn't need the cutting pliers. You could get by with the rounded tip. or even this tip that has the rougher pieces there. But I think these two especially is all you need, and I don't know, maybe you could get by with some other kind of tool. So there's a couple ideas to embellish your journal for the holidays. I really like that. I'm actually kind of drawn to the simplicity of that one, even though I thought I would prefer that. So I'll play around with it and take it on and off probably 5 different times, and then eventually I'll decide which look I prefer. So I am hoping to show, let me just grab this real quick and then I'll wrap things up. But this is my little basic December daily project. It's for a standard TN. You can adjust these to the size traveler's notebook that you have that you would like to place an insert like this in. But I'm hoping to show how I like to make these so that it's super simple and really fun to do. I make really big junk journals. I also like to make these traveler's notebook size ones because they're so much quicker, and it just lets you be creative without feeling like you're really getting into a huge project. So I want to show that, and maybe even have a little filming of just the gathering of embellishment. So for example, some things like this I am starting to set aside for journal embellishments for December. I'm thinking if I get that ready now, then by December 1st or the beginning of Advent, which I think this year is also December 1st, I'll have all my stuff ready, and all I have to do is kind of rummage through my little mini stash and put stuff on those journal pages to embellish them as I go along. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.